Somebody here to talk about these partial payment?
Relax.
Oh, okay. Okay, as long as they talk.
Are these accurate? Oh, yeah. One, two.
Yeah, because we just.
Didn't we vote on this 189?
No, that's the one we held.
We ready? Relax.
No.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. It is Monday, December 30th, 2024. The time is 4:11 PM. And we're calling the Board of Estimate and Contract into order. If you could please do the roll call.
Reading of the meeting?
Read the meeting first. The Board of Estimate and Contract meeting scheduled today, Monday, December 30th, 2024, 4 o'clock. Mayor's Conference Room, first floor. There will be a bid opening for the South Fulton Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Preliminary Engineering and another bid for the South Third and South Columbus Avenues Flood Mitigation Engineering Studies, followed by the regular Board of Estimate and Contract meeting. I'll do the roll call. Controller Morton,
Here.
Council President Gleason,
Here.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Here.
Sorry.
And proceed with the bid opening.
Okay, which one you want to do first? Okay, so this is the bid for South Fulton Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Preliminary Engineering. There, the name of the company is HVEA Engineers. HVEA Engineers. So. There is no pricing. This is just I guess. Paid for qualifications, because that's basically what we have here. Resumes and expression of interest. That's all I see. So there is no totals, these just for qualifications.
RFQ?
Yeah. All I see is it says
Was that,
expression of.
was this an RFQ or? Okay, thank
Yeah.
you. Just for clarification.
Yeah. Okay. So that, there we have it. And there are no others for,
And nothing I'm bidding at, right?
No, these are all physical,
Sorry?
all physical. No virtual, no uploads, all physical.
We
Gotcha.
advertised it on BidNet, we advertised it,
I should have read that.
yeah,
we advertised it on the website.
This is which one is this? This is
that was for the,
South Fulton. Okay, so originally it was advertised in the Journal News on November 27th and December 10th. And the extension was advertised in the Journal News on December 17th with the new bid closing date at 3 PM on December 26th.
And this is for the South Third Street and Fulton Bridge.
South Ave, no,
This one is a RFQ qualification for South Fulton Avenue Bridge Rehabilitation Preliminary Engineering.
That's the Third Street and Fulton.
There are two
There's two different ones.
different ones. So remember, there's the Fulton one that is like just strictly Fulton Avenue.
going over the
It's
Metro North.
it's going over,
Fulton
it's
first?
going, no,
Yeah,
it's Fulton
Two
Avenue.
hundred block of Fulton Avenue, right?
Hmm?
200 block of Fulton
Yeah.
Avenue.
Over
Fulton Avenue.
Metro North.
That's right.
And then there's the Third Street one, which is the other overpass. So this is for the Fulton Avenue portion, and not the Third Street portion.
And it's
Everyone thinks of it as it's at an intersection like this, but this is for this one.
Oh, gotcha.
And went out, basically,
It went out and then, they extended the closing date.
right?
So,
And we had one person respond with their qualifications. And I asked you to say that because it's put out, right? And oftentimes we get a lot of commentary about who's able and who's getting contracts and if people are being given fair chances. If you don't do your homework, we can't give you a grade, right? If you're not submitting, if you're not prepared as a company to respond to RFQs or to bids, then we cannot just award a contract. And so, having the ability to build things and having the infrastructure and team in place to respond to RFQs or to bids are two totally separate issues. And so, we can't secure the money, bring the money to the community and then write and apply for for you to get the stuff at the same time. We could bring the money to the community, but we need contractors who are going to be prepared to respond. And when you're not prepared to respond, then, you're not even eligible to be in the pool of people who are being selected. And we can't sit there and put it out for 6 months so that you can go out and get ready. So.
It was just so, and this was a RFP,
RFQ,
RFQ,
request for qualifications.
right? And so once they submit their qualifications, then what is the next step?
Well, go ahead.
The next step is
Come to the table.
And I'm doing this just.
And
Yeah.
for the audience.
Yeah, this
Transparent.
kind of discussions, public can understand what this entails. Because see, to the mayor's point, there's one thing about the fact that people just don't respond. And then everybody's like, well, we don't give local businesses a chance. That's one aspect. But the other aspect of it is that people also complain about the fact that this intersection has been closed for so
Yes.
long. And therefore, it's the city's fault. The city's doing nothing. And we want to make sure that they understand that the city is doing something.
Yeah.
Right? On this, and the city is trying to do it. So I want to find out what the steps are so that we are clear about what now we need to do, because we basically got one respondent. Right, to this.
Mhm.
So, and if that respondent, while they give us their qualifications, it really ain't qualified to do this.
Mhm.
Then the question is,
We have to.
what are we doing? So that's what I wanted to.
Right, but
Next step?
one of the things,
Just say your name for the record and who you are, so people can know.
Curtis Wood, city engineer. One of the things too is this is a project that we're doing with New York State Bridge. There are 15 pre-qualified contractors, firms that work with the state. It's already been vetted by the state, and it's like they get vetted and they get 3 years that they can apply for the state jobs. This company is one of those. We did send out to all 15. And BidNet is open up for everyone else. So basically what happens now is we take the information that they submit and we basically, go through and see their qualifications as far as being able to do the job. And usually if it was more than one, basically, we have like a score sheet that we basically based on their experience, their job that they've done in the past, whether or not, which company was best for us to use.
Now, what happens if you come to find out that this company is not really qualified, really not capable of really doing it? Then what's the next step?
We can send out, we will send out again. One of the things is the qualification period for this, it ends in May of, I think March of 2025. Then they have another list of pre-qualified, pre-vetted contractors to do, or consultants to do the work. We can submit it at that, or we can just submit it again.
So I have a question.
Mhm.
So, this area has been closed for a long time. What has been the delays? Has it been, getting the proper engineers in place?
Well,
Or is it the coordination with the state? Because I've had a lot of, people ask questions about that also come to council.
well, one of the things is it's 2 bridges, and we applied for the state because the state has a bridge is New York Bridge application where they give us funding for this. So
Okay,
this
got it.
job is pretty much funded by the state.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
I'm glad because I was curious as to, and a question came up in a conversation with, I don't remember who it was, but, you know, about money being in the budget for these bridges, but it's good to have clarification that we're going through New York State
We,
and it's at no cost to,
right, it's a minimum
to the
cost to
city.
us with the state, and we actually put both bridges in.
okay,
But we only got approved for one bridge, so what we're gonna do is, the plans is to put the Third Street Bridge under the New York Bridge to see if we get funding for that bridge.
okay.
So I want to also provide context, right? Because I know 2 years feels like a long time, but 2 years for a bridge to be closed that no one really owns, as compares to the 15 years that the bridges were closed on Third Avenue, and the 12 years it was closed on 10th Avenue.
Mhm.
And the time the bridge was closed, I can't even remember how long it was closed on 14th Avenue. Is pretty short because those were all MTA bridges and the MTA was responsible for replacing all of those bridges. The bridge on Fulton Avenue and the bridge on Third Avenue were closed on January 12th, 2023. So we're approaching 2 years. 2
Yeah.
years is a long time, but it's not a long time comparatively speaking when we look at the history of bridges. And it's definitely not a long time when no one owns this bridge, right? These were, and they're not bridges technically, people say they're overpasses. But the reason that these are in the condition they are is because the Boston Bronx Railway Company abandoned this almost 100 years ago.
Yes.
And I could tell you, and I'm gonna just go on record, right? For the last 20 years, the city of Mount Vernon leadership propped up those overpasses with wooden beams. Those wooden beams split and cracked.
Mhm.
And instead of replacing them, they then put steel bands around them. The steel bands still were not appropriate. And the state and the DOT had been saying probably for the last 15 to 20 years, you were around, that we needed to do something. And nothing had been done other than propping them up with wooden beams and putting steel bands around them through multiple administrations. The bridges have been F-rated and they have been red flagged and have been dumping grounds for a long time. We finally took the decision to close them because while we understood it was going to be an inconvenience and it could hurt people's businesses, when you have bridges that are C and D rated that are collapsing, and ours were F rated, and they were telling us that we couldn't even send 1 ton of weight over the bridge, nor should we even be parking a ton on that bridge. You have to do something radical. And we closed them. I don't think that our garbage trucks, our fire engines, or our ambulances had gone over those overpasses in 10 years because they were that dangerous. But yet, we had accordion buses going over those bridges that are like 20 tons when the bridge wasn't even rated for 1. And so I will maintain and I will not apologize for the fact that we have had to make hard decisions in the Patterson-Howard administration. I'm not even saying it was the council or the controller, right? As the mayor, I had to make that decision and I made that decision, right? Because it's not an emergency until the bridge collapses with somebody's family member on that bridge in a car, walking a school bus or something going over that, right? So we've had to make some real hard decisions because decisions hadn't been made for a long time. And so the bridge was closed on January 12th, 2023. We had to hire people, which we didn't have funding to do, to come in and clean up tons and tons of things that had been dumped under that bridge. It looked like a rock quarry, and there was even a small yacht. How a yacht got down and under there, I don't know. right? But we couldn't even begin to have the State Department of Transportation come in and fully evaluate the site for the extreme danger that it was in, because there were, I don't know how many tons of debris that had been put down around the base of the old rotted out steel columns and around the base of the cracked and broken wooden beams, right? So we had to clean that out. And we've talked publicly about this process
You did,
on several occasions. We've even done videos to show what the city has had to do. We did videos when we had to shut it down. We did videos when we talked about the cleanup. We did videos after we finished cleaning it up, right? We did a video when we applied to the state and we got, I think, $4.9 million, something around that, to take care of one of the bridges. We talked about having to go out and do engineering studies, because it's not even just those overpasses, right? If it was just the overpass, that would be kind of easy, you know, maybe we could put up some other steel beams. But even if we just put up other steel beams or replace wooden beams, it still might only have a tonnage of about 3 tons that could go over it, which still would not allow buses and trucks and ambulances and garbage trucks and any of our emergency vehicles to go over it. It would just allow cars, and then we could only let 2 cars. We couldn't even let an SUV go over it, you know, and it would become a problem like the Fulton Avenue Bridge that was going over the train tracks. So it's an inconvenience, absolutely, and business owners are challenged by it, absolutely. And none of that is lost on me. I need people to know that none of that is lost on me. But it didn't get there overnight, and it's not gonna find a solution overnight. We have to not only look at a solution for just those overpasses, but those overpasses are also connected to the disruptions that go Madison and Franklin and Monroe and those big dips going all the way down to Sanford Boulevard.
Right.
All the way down to Sanford Boulevard. And so we are working the best that we can and as fast as we can on problems that have long existed. And I'm not going to say we're ignored, because trust me, you know, if we didn't have to deal with it with the 20 other things that we had to deal with, we might have been able to pass around it, right? So people do what they can, and you try and juggle the balls as best as you can. But this was a ball that we knew we couldn't juggle anymore. We had to make a hard decision that was unpopular. And we are absolutely moving, you know, at a rapid pace, because it never looks rapid, right? Because by the time you see the stuff in the ground, it's already been years that people have been working up to it. So people have seen kind of these 2 years that we've been working up to a place to get it done. And we are trying to find the right partners that have the right solutions for us to do it once and get it done properly so that it can last another 100 years, and us not turn around and have to close it in another year because it's just been a temporary fix that we really can't use. So we could have probably reopened it, but we couldn't use it. You wouldn't be able to use it because we can't put as the state DOT had told us with the Fulton Avenue Bridge going over First Street, that in order for us to keep that bridge open, we would have had to place a cop there 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to make sure that no more than 3 tons ever went over there. And so if anybody had a U-Haul box truck, we would have been in violation. And we just don't have those type of resources. So you shut it down and you find a way to reopen it when you really have a solution that is going to be lasting and doesn't put the city at greater liability, because no one appreciates it until there is a catastrophe. And then everyone will want to know, well, why didn't you keep it closed? So we and that wasn't all for you. That was more for the public, because I get the same questions and the same, no one's doing anything, no one, and it's a process. Nothing was done for 20 years. And in 2 years, we've made great strides. And now that we're at this place, hopefully it will move faster, and hopefully $5 million will be enough to begin to address it because we're still going after more money. It will address one part of it, or at least hopefully for a full solution. Sorry for the long.
This?
We got a second for it?
Yes,
I think this was very.
and I appreciate you for that question.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm waiting on you.
Oh, that's, yeah,
I'm gonna move on to the next one.
sure.
This is also a request for qualifications for the city of Mount Vernon South Third and South Columbus Avenues flood mitigation engineering study / analysis. This was originally advertised in the Journal News on November 29th and December 10th, and the prior closing date was December 16th. The extension was posted in the Journal News on December 17th and as well on BidNet. And the bid closing for this RFQ is 12/26 at 3:00. And we received 2 submissions.
Were they, any from,
No, it's all physical submissions, no electronic submission.
this is Woodard and Curran? Guess I don't wanna wait to write down stuff. And as you stated,
Request for-
it's a request for qualifications.
RFQ.
RFQ, yes.
RFP.
This is an RFP?
Is it?
Oh, it says Q.
It says
Okay, so you gotta get the P's and Q's right.
The ad from purchasing says qualification.
Okay, so let me see what we have here.
Purchasing says qualification.
Okay. Is it all this?
So is it an RFQ?
We're about to try to determine that. This is all about qualifications. Tab. And this appears to be the same thing. All right, so we do have 2 envelopes from the same person. What appears to be the same person, so I'm gonna open the second envelope and maybe there's more information here. Yes, this is more from Woodard and Curran. And it appears to be the same thing, and from my quick review of this, it all seems to be a RFQ. I don't see any information related to pricing, which would be similar to the last one, right? It makes sense.
How did the ad read?
It's an RFQ.
Yeah, it has to be, yeah, because,
Request for qualification.
yeah, right.
Okay, and so, just so people know, this is for the South Third Avenue and Columbus Avenue corridor. Better known to people as kind of the Salvation Army corner,
Yeah,
where there's a lot of flooding. And so we do have a, grant that we were able to secure through, US Congressman Bowman, to do the study. And so, this is, and that's what it is right now. It's a study. And so it's probably not a proposal
Yeah, so-
or to bid to fix it because it's a study in its nature. So the RFQ would be right. This is a request for qualifications to hire an engineering company to do a study.
And announce.
An analysis to let us know what needs to be done
Right.
at that intersection. So maybe we can develop an RFP go out for it to be fixed. Again, brought West Army Corps of Engineers. Here's the city of Mount Vernon, so that they could look at that area as well as lots of other engineering companies. Because that has been a troublesome intersection for as long as I could remember, that has flooded. And we know also down with the Edison pump station, we're looking at some stuff around that too, right? That whole area, is that like a high water table down in that?
Yeah,
area?
it's a high water table. Actually, the Edison pump station, we're doing a new pump station
Yeah.
there. We're just waiting
Mhm.
for Department of Health to approve everything and then we can.
But that area in
Oh, yeah.
general is a high water table and has been prone to flooding for a long time. And so again, fixing it is the goal, but you can't fix it until you really know what the problem is in the first place. And that's kind of where we are on the bridge, is what is the best way to go about it? And then when we determine what is the best way to go about dealing with flood mitigation here, as well as properly replacing, because it's not even repairing, it's replacing the infrastructure of the bridges or overpasses over there, then we move on to the next process where we're able to go out to a bid for the work to be done.
How long before you think we'll be able to go off, to bid? I guess it will really depend on,
I take maybe 6 to 9 months,
okay,
depending on what they,
yeah.
they're gonna do as far as, but it should take us maybe 30
You
days.
know, I want everything yesterday.
You and me both, trust me.
So the third one, which is actually the second vendor, group of engineers, Maglanaro Engineers. Hopefully I'm pronouncing their name right, Maglanaro Engineers, and of course, it is an RFQ. So we received 3 in total, but both are from Wood and Current, and then 1 from Maglanaro Engineers, right?
And is there any other business? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have a
other
whole
business.
agenda. I did double check that first one.
Yes, we're
We did
good.
vote on it.
No,
Oh, we didn't vote on
No.
it? Okay.
There are 3?
yes.
Okay. Both of them? Did you? Yeah, you did. I remember.
All right, under Department of Public Works request for partial payments, number 1, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 5 for sewer system cleaning, and televising phase 1 to the National Water Main Cleaning Company, $189,151.67.
So moved? Huh? Yeah, I would think so.
You do?
We can make a motion.
Well, we have a motion on the floor, so.
Okay.
Roll call? Or on the question? Is there any question? Okay, hearing no questions, roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Mayor, can we make a motion to put item number 2 and item number 3 together? Anybody could
I
second?
second the motion.
Thank you.
Oh, she didn't make the motion, she said, "Yeah, free." I was like,
Can I make the motion?
Okay.
We're gonna,
All right, Edward Patterson.
we're gonna
Vote on,
the vote to take items 2 and 3 as a block vote.
Okay.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
aye?
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
Okay. Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 6 for sewer system cleaning and televising phase 1 to National Water Main Cleaning Company, $233,501.22. Number 3, Department of Public Works, a resolution authorizing partial payment number 7 for sewer system cleaning and televising phase 1 to National Water Main Cleaning Company, $108,038.77.
So moved.
Second.
On the question? Hearing none, roll call?
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye.
That concludes the agenda.
We have a motion to adjourn.
Well, I would just like to say this is my last, right? My last Board of Estimate and Contract meeting as City Council President for 2024. I've had a delightful time.
Well, this is a congratulatory
We might call a meeting for tomorrow, okay, please.
No.
Thank you. Thank you for your work and your diligence. We definitely do appreciate the partnership of the council. Okay?
Not rubber stamp.
Well, trust me, I was getting ready to say that. There's partnership. We can't talk about chaos and confusion and embarrassment. And then when people learn how to work together and build consensus, that it's called a rubber stamp. That just makes no sense. We don't have to go crazy and act fools in public just to prove that we do debate and have to build consensus,
Debate and educate.
debate and educate, you know.
Absolutely.
As opposed to act idiotic and unprofessional just to satisfy ratings on social media.
And we've had some great debates.
We've had great
We've
debates.
had some great debates and walked away still respecting each
Each other.
other's position in government. So I'm just very grateful to be here. And I will be handing it off to Councilwoman Brown, who I have faith in. She will do an excellent job. And with that being said, I move to adjourn.
Second.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
All righty, roll call.
Comptroller Morton,
Aye.
Council President Gleason,
Aye.
Mayor Patterson Howard.
Aye, meeting is adjourned